that person wasn't there. And yeah, whole long story. Oh, all right. Okay, Rumble is taking its merry old time. YouTube says we're live. Um, Rumble is being finicky. Um, okay, Rumble's good.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Today is Thursday, March the 12th, 2026 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. Discord was acting very weird this afternoon. Uh, I was doing a couple things in two areas and lost it all, and luckily they were able to retrieve it, but it went down. And then when Crazy B and I tried to connect up, we couldn't get connected, and so I
Yeah.
don't know. They
And
were
what's
they were
weird is
having.
that when I didn't get those calls from you, even to my phone,
Hmm.
we
Right,
were right outside of town getting gas where my ex brother in law lives. I
right.
was well within my reception range. So I
That's
don't know
weird.
why I was not getting calls coming through
Right,
from you. So,
right.
and hi, Blue Rose.
Hey, Blue. Yeah, it was very strange. Uh, I don't know. Maybe it's the weather. We've been having nonstop rain for the last 5 days.
We
Uh,
had pretty sunny today. Hello, Peggy. It
Hi,
was
Peggy.
cold, but it was sunny all day. No rain. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Well,
weird.
and and then my forewarning is I don't know how long I'll last. I'm finally hitting the wall of being tired. I've spent the last half hour throwing up. I'm eating crackers and have made a hot cup of tea. And so surgery went okay.
That's good.
Uh, in a little bit of pain, especially when I tried to play linebackers this morning when you were on the phone with me,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get into the frickin' pantry and everything fell behind the door. And yeah, that was pretty
Something you're not
stupid of
supposed
me.
to do
Yes, that was pretty
right after
stupid.
surgery.
Yep. Probably I split the glue and shit, and my insides will be falling out.
Eh, not
Uh,
necessarily.
yeah, but it went well. They treated me really good. I can't complain.
Other than needing
Got
your damn ID and how
Yeah,
horrible they
that
are
was
for
fun.
that.
Yeah, yes, but yeah. By the way, as soon as I walked in and went up to the surgery suite, I gave them my name, and she goes, "ID, please." Gave her my driver's license,
How
and
dare they?
I watched her looking at the driver's license, looking at my name on the paperwork, back and forth, back and forth. She never looked up to look at me to see if that was me in the photo
Uh-huh.
because, and you know why? Because I had a mask on. So I could have been freaking anybody. You know what I mean? Like, here, you go in for me. You know what I mean? Like, obviously the doctor would have known, but still, it was just the mere sheer fact of what stupidity. Really?
Yeah. And hey,
And
cannabis.
high cannabis.
Yeah, it is kind of,
So,
but honestly, who's going to step in for surgery for somebody else?
there are people that do shit like that.
I don't know, the
There are
risk of
people
blood
that are,
type being wrong and everything.
yeah, I
Oof.
don't know. So then the doctor was, I get in there, I get all, I had three different nurses all trying to take care of me at one time. They were all helping out one another. And I was like, oh my God, can't just one of you do the stuff? I mean, they were getting in each other's way. The anesthesiology came in, they were back and forth. And, oh, what meds did you take? And then the other one, well, what meds did you take? Where's your med list? Was the third one. It was like a clusterfuck. And then they're like, when they got finished, they're like, well, the doctor's running late. I said, and you're telling me any
Hurry up and
different?
wait.
I've waited 7 hours for this guy before. And then all of a sudden they came back in a whirlwind and they're like, he's ready. And so when I got back to the OR, he was in there already. And I'm like, oh my God, he's there. And I said, well, I didn't bring you my playlist taped to my stomach this time, but I do want to know, which way are we going first? Are we going stomach first in, or are you going in my back? And he goes, well, I think we'll keep you on your back and then we'll flip you over. And I'm like, oh man. I'm like, make sure the boobs are tucked in right. I don't want to be laying on one lopsided, and when I wake up I'm all contorted and stuff, you know. Make sure my ass is make sure my ass is lined up on the table so I ain't sliding off. I mean, I can't picture them taking, you know, because they have to roll you. And I've had that happen before where I've come to and I've had somebody's claws in me. You know, skin has been dug out of my body from them grabbing me. And
Yeah.
sometimes I think it's intentional because they're like, yeah, you know, I'm mad at my husband, so let me take aggression out on a body, you know? Uh, but it went well. And then they rearranged again. This time when I came to, I was back in the room that I was originally. And they used to put you in this holding cell with everybody. So you had men, women, you know, I could be between two men. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Mm. Anyway, I could be, and I have been between two men on each side of me, you know, and people are making coughing and hacking and making noise, and that's just not a conducive, you know, recovery kind of situation. So I guess they went back to putting everybody back in whatever room was assigned to you when you came in. And then they asked before I went back to the OR, they're like, well, what do you want to drink? We have water, ginger ale, and something. Oh, and juice. I said, all of the above. We have graham crackers and saltines, all of the above. I said, just make sure there's enough. I'm starving. I said, I'm used to eating at nighttime since I'm up all night. I usually,
Mm-hmm.
you know, graze all night. So it was hard. I was to not eat at 12 o'clock, and at 1 o'clock I was still eating. But I figured, hey, live on the edge. What's the worst that could have happened?
Throwing up after anesthesia or throwing up well under anesthesia and
Yeah, well,
inhaling it and then getting pneumonia.
eh, like I said, live on the edge. You know, we can't, you know, what can
Get
I
them in,
say?
get them out, just like an oil change, according to cannabis.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, get them in, get them out. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even get to see the doctor afterwards. Uh, so I have to go back in 2 weeks for a checkup. I'm assuming, based on what we discussed prior, that they left the wires in, and because they're embedded at this point.
Yeah,
So
but the major
I
hardware itself got removed.
yes, is out. Right. So I feel like I need to have a tattoo on my chest, like right between my boobs, that says no MRI or something like that. Because, you know, out of all my medical history that's on my paperwork, it does not say that I can't have an MRI done because of all the metal and shit in my body. And after I watched that video of, it's a YouTube video where these doctors are in the room with the MRI machine, and they have gauze, and they're across the room with this gauze, and they have it wrapped around a pair of scissors. They
Uh-huh.
turn on that damn MRI machine, and that frickin' thing goes flying across the room into the machine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, oh my God, do you know how many times you could be, you know, that I've gone in unconscious or whatever? And they're like, oh yeah, the first thing is, yeah, we'll get you an MRI. And I'm like, I can't have one. So
Uh-huh.
you think if
But
I
they're
get a
not going to look for a
tattoo,
tattoo in an emergency circumstance.
oh,
They'll see in your medical records, hopefully, all the surgeries and yeah.
well, you know, why, if they have a place for all the allergies that you have, right? Why can't you put it in there?
It's supposed to be a similar circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it should be a big red note. No
Right,
MRIs, no this, no
right,
that. But yeah.
right. And it's not. Yep.
And, you know, cannabis, I'm going to be honest, those medical bracelets, during an emergency, they're not looking for them either.
Yeah. I talked to the paramedics because we've talked about this before. I wanted to get that one bracelet that it's a USB, it's a waterproof USB. It contains all, and it's very thin and comes in different colors, like black, red, yellow, whatever.
There ain't no
But
one going
it's
to plug it into a network computer.
exactly, and we talked about that last
Yep.
week. Why can't they have a standalone computer for that shit?
Nope.
But even so, the paramedics said that either you need the medical ID bracelet or the necklace, and do not get it in jewelry fashion.
It
Like
needs to
right
be a
now, they make
standout.
it needs to be the traditional. Here's the Red Cross, uh, blue at the minimum. But these colors, like you can get something that's like, say, Mother of the Pearl, or all
It needs to
solid
be that
gold.
typical silver dog tag or
Yep.
the
Mm,
expandable bracelet, the
yes.
stretchy metal
Yep.
bracelet on the
Mm,
wrist. Otherwise,
yes.
they are not going to know it. And they're not going to waste their time looking for it.
That's right. That's what they said because time is of the essence, and they don't have time to piss around with it. So I was shocked, but it
It's
was good
not
to know.
Mardi
So,
Gras, D. And hi, Art. Art was
yeah.
saying
Hey,
that
Art.
he said, whiskey on the rocks for me. The doctor laughed, but the nurses didn't seem to have much of a sense of humor when he ordered drinks after waking up.
There you
Yeah, but
Yeah.
nah,
Hey,
unfortunately, the unless it's straight up,
yep.
and tattoos can
Traditional.
be outdated. If that tattoo's 20 years old and all the metal's been removed, yeah,
Well, if the MRI, if it says no MRI and it's 20 years old, well, I guess that'll be fucking down to my knees too.
yeah, because they can replace that old hardware with titanium if something goes wrong.
You're missing what I'm saying.
Oh, that
You
can go down to your
totally missed
knees.
that. Yeah, you totally
No,
missed
I didn't
that.
miss it. I was already responding about the time you were saying it. I think there was a bit of a lag thing that you cut in as I was starting to respond. That's why I didn't laugh right away.
Okay. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
It's going to say it'll be a different word instead of no MRI because it'll be down there with my boobs down around my knees.
Yes.
They'll have to lift it all up. Oh, what's these ancient letters on her body? Lift up the boobs.
Egyptian
Yeah.
hieroglyphic.
Uh-huh. Yep. Can anybody read these hieroglyphics? Oh God, too funny.
Oh, oh
But
God.
it's always an experience. So that's the hopefully only surgery till fall. Uh, although I have those two big appointments coming up. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
see what they have to say and how soon I got to go in.
Yep.
But yeah,
Oh,
about what we're going to do today. And I'm out of paper towels, and I go to get paper towels, and I can't get into the pantry door. And I'm like, okay, is it the broom that's fell over? No, it's too damn heavy. And I end up bending halfway down, and I throw my shoulder and body into the frickin' door, and then I go, oh, I
yeah.
don't think I should have did that.
No,
Yeah,
you shouldn't have.
garbage, the like Costco sized trash bags, Costco sized garbage bags, Costco sized three different types of drinks all fell over. I don't know who or how. It was either EJ or Eric, but somebody walked out and left the pantry like that.
Okay, I'm in the middle of a live stream. We'll discuss it later. Not my problem right now. Anyways.
So then you had a little ordeal yourself because we were going to try to go live at 7.
Yeah, but then ended up delayed because of people falling asleep when they were supposed to be awake to sell a car. And yeah, I ended up being a little bit delayed getting back. Not too
Oh,
bad, though.
they
Yeah,
were
they were at the house
sleeping.
the whole time, despite the horn being
Mm.
honked a couple times and knocking on the back door and the front door. Yeah, they just messaged, "Oh, where are you?" What, dude? We're not sitting around all day. And it's not
Wow.
trying to be mean, but just like, really? Just some people. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. I was trying to help a family member out with getting a vehicle by taking them over there. But, I mean, like, come on now. You know you're trying to sell a vehicle. Why on God's green earth would you?
Weren't you there?
Weren't you there?
I don't believe they were home.
No, they were. The vehicle was there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's weird. The chat on here froze. Hold on. Um,
Oh, or yeah, they're not going to check the window shades. Okay.
It's not turning.
Remember,
It's not kicking on. I'm trying to fix
I
it.
can't get it to unpin the message. Hold on. Let me refresh the studio. Ugh, it won't unpin the message.
okay.
Okay. And it's still pinned up there. Now it's gone. I lost the chat from over there, but yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. I was getting my Middle East shipping report at 7:30 Eastern. Was fine. Yeah.
Okay.
It's just been a wild day. It's like we get told, "Oh, Danny text. Well, what time should we be there?" They said now, so we head over, sit for 2 hours, then drive
Wow.
over to the person's house because they were finally supposed to be home from work. And how do you fall asleep in that 45-minute window?
Take a
You
look at
literally
what I did
drove home.
earlier in the
They
week.
had to drive home, which was going to take about 25 to 30 minutes, and
Mm-hmm.
then somehow fell asleep in the extra 10 minutes it took us to get there.
Well, look at what I did on the live stream the other day.
Yeah, but this person's not in your health.
Okay.
Yeah, they're overall pretty
By
healthy,
the
still
way,
working.
yeah, which by the way, that may happen. So, because now I'm starting to, I told you earlier I thought I hit the wall, but that didn't happen. I had too many phone call interruptions, so I'm on the wall. I'm on the fence right now.
Uh, that makes sense. But,
Mhm.
well, if it's a short day, it's a short day. I told you
Whether
Just
you
wake
should
me
be
up.
resting.
is it
Yeah, I
possible
know.
the turning thing needs to be lubricated? That's why it keeps like stuttering.
I don't know until I'm done with the live stream, okay?
No.
I will help out when I'm done with the live stream.
But I don't know why it's stuttering. Like when I
Okay, I will determine what stuttering is after we're done, okay? He's trying to replace the pull string in a 49cc engine, 2-cycle, and I'm like, I don't know until I get to sit there and listen and see what's going on. It's a brand new pull string. I don't know if maybe there's something going on or if it's something in the engine itself from being taken apart. It finally something fell into a place it shouldn't have. I don't know until I go look at it. Stuttering tells me nothing. Literally tells me nothing about what the engine's doing. So
Is that a legit term? Stuttering?
it depends on what he means. I won't know until I look
Okay.
at it and I hear it and I try starting it myself. You watch,
Gotcha.
I get out there and pull it and it'll start right away and it'll be fucking funny and he'll be pissed as
Uh-huh.
all hell, but I'll find it funny.
hmm
Just needed a woman's touch will be my
Yep.
statement.
Yeah, there you
And
go. Them stupid women that we are, right?
Yes. No, but he's coming to me for a reason because I do know once I am looking at it and able to see what he's talking about firsthand with my own eyes and ears.
Right.
Does me no good sitting on my bed in a podcast. Yeah. That's like when
You're
my
not.
daughter was trying to explain to someone that she wanted her paint to be less streaky. Define streaky and what do you want it to do instead?
Right,
Um,
right.
yeah. I mean, sometimes certain descriptive words can mean multiple things. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes. Kind of pulling my hair out with this one, but I'll just laugh at it for now. Once we get done, whatever time we get done, I will go ahead and mess around with what he wants,
Well,
and we'll go from there.
well, the more reason we can end earlier since you got to go outside.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind
Yeah,
either way.
and now you're yawning. And I
I'm
do have a
yawning because
complaint.
I finally got caffeine this afternoon.
I just got some a little bit ago. But I
Yeah.
have a complaint. How is it that you can get a coffee mug without, it doesn't have a handle, it's for coffee or tea. And I made a hot cup of tea, and the bitch is so hot that I'm holding it with paper towels. That's how hot the ceramic is.
It's called a straw. A really
You
long
don't,
straw that you drink
with hot,
coffee or tea through.
no, I don't, nah, we could, I guess.
You know those little funny straws that do the little loop-de-loop? It gives it time to cool
Mhm.
down before it gets to your tongue.
That's true. I could use that. That is true.
Get one
Yep.
of the comedically long ones,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, that'll give it time to cool off, and you'll be catching your breath as it's halfway through before
It's
you have to start
exactly,
siphoning again.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
it'll look like a bunch of Bunsen burner type thing. Not the
Right.
Bunsen burner, but you know the little tubes through the science lab
Right. Yep. Exactly.
from the
And
old
I,
movies that have no
yep.
purpose.
Yeah. And I do want to make one other comment to Hey Cannabis regarding the medical alert bracelet. I ended up getting the dog tag, and you can get them in either silver or gold. But the dog tag, if you have multiple health issues, it holds. You can get more engraved on both the front and the back. So you can put your
I
blood type, your
I had
medical
one of those
condition.
old medical alerts where you could open it and there was a piece of paper inside. And if you were
Right.
really good at origami, you could get that bitch folded really small.
Exactly.
Because I had a long list of medications and
Yeah.
health problems younger, and man, we
Yep.
origamied that
I
bitch to
found the
make it fit.
gasket.
Oh, you
The
found the
only thing,
gasket.
That was gasket really important.
Yes, gaskets are important.
Okay, that's probably why it's not working.
the only thing about them is if you're in the water, and that's, we're on the boat at the beach,
Or you
at the
know,
beach in the lake
you
or
could
whatever.
do multiple dog tags sub loop to each other into a nice little long necklace.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know
Have
them women
multiple
that
dog
would have
tags on
them.
there.
Wait, you know those women that have them body chains that go from their neck down to their waist.
Yeah, there
I
you
could just
go.
have, I could just have it as dog tags all the
Yeah, and
way
then it can wrap
down.
around your back too,
Yep,
around.
yep. It could go around each hip, and then I could start to belly dance with it and clink and clank. There we go. I'm sure Eric would like. I'm sure Eric would like that. Add a bell or two. Be able to have a bell to take off.
No,
Now
that's
and
that.
then.
That's that. Safety alert. The help! I've fallen and I can't get up. Life alert.
Right, right. If you hear me go down the steps and you hear the bells, you know I fell.
Uh,
Shit. Oh, you hear the
Art
bells? Oh,
says,
I'm going to take a shower. You hear the bells? I slipped and fell. There you go. Who needs this high tech shit? Let's go low tech.
Art says mine are basically a set of dog tags. Couple of local ER docs are former Army, so they will see them on and act on it. That's
Hmm.
another thing. A lot of military doctors do go into the workforce after they get out of the
Right,
military.
right,
Yes. And so that tends to register with them. And that's what I was saying.
right.
But in our cases, we could do a full on body jewelry
Yep,
with ours.
that's an idea. Yep.
It's not
Have
a bad
or have
idea to do
one
it that way.
or have one that's like a thicker necklace, and then you just go whap, and it folds out like an accordion, or it rolls out, right? Like you've seen paper rolls or whatever.
Like
That
the old
I
cartoons where they unrolled the scroll and it just keeps going
Yes,
and going and going.
yes, right. Yep. We just
You have a little
continually add.
latch to hold the paper
Yep,
accordion together. They flip that
exactly.
latch to open it and it just spills out all
It
over the
just
place.
fills out. Yep,
And it's in like that, like, what is it, half font print?
yep. Or hey, in a lot of urban music, they wear that big heavy jewelry, the big chains and the big medallions. Why can't that medallion be my medical information, right?
Yeah.
Just a thick, front back, then have them connected. Damn. We might have a new business to go into.
I think we could. It's a giant, literal toe chain, painted gold with a cute
Uh-huh.
little emblem on it that, you know.
Yep.
Like, what is the point in getting a toe chain, painting it gold, and then acting like it's solid gold when we all know the fuck it ain't because no one's that rich? No matter how
I
much you
know.
think you're that great at rap music, you ain't that rich.
I
Uh
know.
huh. They
I
only
know.
list the stuff that will immediately lead to negative patient outcomes. The rest is in file. And
Hmm.
see, that's the problem though with some of these hospitals is no matter how many times you go there, they're still like, well, what's
It's
that updated
never.
meds list? What's this updated allergy list? We need to update.
Wait,
Motherfucker, I was just here 3 days ago.
wait. How about this? You're in the ER. The frickin' pharmacy sends a tech up to get your med list. They enter. I sit there side by side with them and go over every single prescription. Why is it when I get to the floor, they don't
Yeah.
have my med list?
Yeah.
Or they have
Hey,
the med
Striker.
list from Ice Striker, or they have the med list from a year ago. And then I have to go over the whole thing again anyway.
Uh huh.
Who's talking to who?
Nobody.
Where's this shit all going?
And by the way, my allergies list of things that may be in medications is that long. It
Hmm.
is insane. And then the allergies to actual medications is also quite long. And then the absolute necessity of what I am on medication wise has finally gotten down to like half a sheet of paper
Yeah.
versus a
I
full
was
2 pages.
yeah, I was disappointed. Normally I get 5 pretty bracelets at my hospital, my usual hospital,
Uh
that
huh.
lists the different issues. This was just all red and black and white. There was
Yeah,
no
I mean,
color
you're
to it
not going to
at
be
all.
there very long. It's just for the hospital
Yeah,
to
well, I
notify them to check the record.
but I will tell you that I don't, as somebody that's a visual learner, when I looked at all of that, I was like, okay, tell me how which which bracelet to look for
It
what in.
doesn't matter which bracelet, because you see red, you're going to slide it over to read it. And
Hmm.
then it'll tell you to look at the medical record for this specific thing. And
Yeah.
then you read the allergy list.
Uh,
I know it's not, it's more simple for an operating room than a hospital
yeah.
floor. I will tell you, it's a lot simpler because one, there's a computer there with a nurse standing at it, ready to tell you any interactions, along with an anesthesiologist nurse or anesthesiologist. And then you've also got the doctor and the surgical techs, and there's a lot more people who can say allergy alert because they're just rolling it over. You're not the one person rolling the bracelet over, then having to run find a computer. It's all right
Yeah.
there. That's
I
why it's not
my
color coded pretty.
yeah. I am lying because I just sent it to you. There are 2 red ones, so that is, I guess.
According to this, you didn't send me jack shit.
Oh, because you have to hit send, that's why. You got to press that little blue button.
Oh, one is like
That's
an
why.
orangish red, one is a bright
Yeah.
red, and then there's that allergies alert in big
Right.
old red and white. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that they do that because it's just easier for the surgical team.
Yeah. So
Yep.
but at the other hospital, there's red light, green light, yellow light, stop, and then you have your black and white ID bracelet. So
Mhm.
again, it being visual, I like the color, so it was kind of depressing,
But honestly, just the fact it's red or orange alerts us to look closer at it.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. When I
I
went through
still
school, I wasn't sure where I was going to be working, so they trained me for all options.
Exactly, but I'm still shook about that. How they got me from my back to my belly, and what happened in between.
They didn't write on you
Like
with
how many
permanent marker. They
people
didn't
how
give
many
you a new tattoo, so you should be okay.
like how many people did it take to heave ho one boob? Everybody pull. Yeah, like get her
Believe it or
over here.
not, a talented nurse, it could take one person to roll you over. If she's really good at it, it would take one person with all the
Well,
cords and wires and everything.
there were 7 people in the OR.
That's an average, actually pretty
Yeah.
decent average.
Yeah, and then they had the anesthesiology came in, so
Yeah, the anesthesiologist mostly comes in to knock you out, and then a nurse monitors it. If
nurse
something comes up, they call
practitioners in.
somebody back
Yeah.
in. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was intubated and have a little bit of a sore throat from it, but we survived. It was okay.
It's not uncommon for the intubation to irritate your
The
throat.
ride home. Yeah, the bitch was the ride home. It was over an hour because we hit rush hour traffic. So that was the most uncomfortable thing, was coming home. But it's okay. We're all's good.
Art says, in the good old days, it was one of the ER docs was the guy who taught me emergency medicine. He asked if I was awake and then get the history from me. That way it was correct and wasn't a game of telephone.
True.
Yep. Well, when I worked with the doctors going to patients' homes, the doctor would look at the pill bottle, then hand it to me. I would put it in the computer. We didn't ask the patient what they were on. We looked at the pill bottle, so there was no mixing it up.
Yep.
Well, because most people aren't seeing the patients in their home. And not many patients are going to bring out 40 to 50 different bottles or whatever to every doctor's appointment.
Right.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah,
so,
I keep a printed from my PCPs printed out med list.
You can just also your most recent refills from the pharmacy.
Yeah, they have it too, but my pharmacy, the way they list it, it would come in a ream. I'd have to carry it in binder form.
No, just the papers. The patient information that comes on it that they staple to the bags. Just pull those off and stick them in your purse.
Yeah, honey. You do remember I carry a tackle box for medicine?
Yes, I'm talking for everybody else who's not on that much or might be on less than that. And yeah, you just drag your tackle box everywhere you go and you won't have a problem.
Yeah.
It's lighter than the whole printouts.
Well, I will tell you, and I would, even for people that have, a small amount of medication, I actually keep my stuff on the Excel spreadsheet. And what I ended up doing is, I have 17 specialists, soon to get the 18th and 19th. And I have all the originating doctor, and then what the reason is, because I take a lot of meds that are used for off label. that are used for something else. And so I keep the doctor's name. And what I ended up doing was I took all of those meds and I have my PCP order all of them. So that way everything is at least in one spot where they're not going to, oh, what doctor is this at? What doctor is that at? And you forget, which specialist, prescribed what, or you forget a med that could be important.
I've never been asked which doctor prescribed what. I've just always been
Yeah,
asked, what medication are you on? How often do you take it? What is the strength? And where do you like to get your meds filled?
yeah, that too. You should always have your pharmacy information available. That always
Well,
cracks me up because that's in your record and they still ask, where do you want it sent to?
and oh, don't get me started on the front doctor's office where I said send it to Walmart and they send it to CVS. And it's like,
Exactly. That's
really?
always.
I
Uh-huh.
legit changed it with you guys last appointment. What?
Yep.
uh,
So we finished up the antibiotic that we were allergic to, which we have Benadrylled the shit out of ourselves
to get
and
through.
to get through. So I got sick for 2 days. Now I'm taking as a follow-up for the next 3 days 2 different antibiotics to try to make sure that the infection is not there. So
Uh-huh.
I think I hope we don't get sick again from all of this.
Oh, antibiotics is going to tear up your stomach no matter what.
I know. All I keep
Eat
thinking
with
right
it.
now is Sesame Street, Elmo doing his musical with being the captain on the ship. Heave, heave, ho, heave, heave, ho. I'm going to be like, throw. Yeah, and then I said that I'd watch the baby tomorrow slap me. Only until he gets up from his nap. So
Okay.
I'm going to
I was going to be
hopefully.
what? They better come
Yeah.
in, put him in his playpen, and then when he wakes up, all you got to do is send him back.
Yep, that's pretty much what I hope happens.
Because you chasing around him with just
Yeah,
having surgery
yeah,
the way you did?
yeah,
No.
I won't.
I wouldn't ask anyone to even babysit. I don't care if they offer. I'd be like, nah, you take it easy. I
Well,
would not
I
take
only
you up
know
on that
that,
offer.
yeah, I know she has meetings tomorrow and he's been a little son of a gun, so,
Like my mother-in-law just had surgery. Sorry.
uh, I know.
Like, to me, that's common sense.
Uh,
But, you know.
is that even around any more common sense?
It's getting there, slow but sure. It's making a comeback. I actually have
I don't
some.
know.
I have some hope from that. The generation. A little. Like the tail end of my kids' generation is starting to get a little bit smarter, and you see these kids in school pushing back on these teachers about their stupidity. It gives me
Mm-hmm.
hope, and my son and my daughter give me hope for the near future.
Yeah, I hope so. I
Art says
hope
I
so.
take. Art says I'm on 3 meds. If you look at the list of conditions, I should probably be on 10 to 15, but I'm not a fan of managing symptoms. Exactly. Yep. He only takes meds that for stuff I cannot tolerate without meds. hmm
Well,
He fits in our category.
unfortunate, yep, unfortunately, my list of meds is the meds that are required to stay alive, pretty
Yep.
much. I have everything else stripped off. I could be on a whole lot more shit.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Same here,
but
but I
I said,
refuse.
yep, yep. Yeah, me and you had that talk this morning.
Yep. I should be on medicine for my blood pressure fluctuations that lead to me randomly falling out. I need to be on a beta blocker to help stabilize my blood pressure. I should be on more medicines for my asthma, but I refuse to report. I'm still having wheezing in between my medicines 3 times a day because
Wait,
I don't want to deal with another one. Albuterol will get me through.
Wait, you and the wheezing. So they said, "Where's your inhalers?"
I don't
said,
even.
"What do
I
you
have just my
say?"
Dulera as an inhaler. Everything else is nebulizer right now and pill.
Okay, but I'm saying they asked me yesterday, "Did you bring your inhalers?" And I went, what inhalers?"
The
And
ones
they're
you're
like,
supposed to take twice a day or
"Yes,
more than twice
yes."
a day that you
And they go,
don't take.
"Yeah," and then they go, "Well, are you on oxygen?" I said,
No,
"Don't
yes,
tell
but
any."
I refuse to use it.
Right. And
And
then
then I
they
wonder
said,
why I just kind of zonko.
"Well, are you using the nebulizer?" I said, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "I don't know. Maybe I would feel better if I did some of that
I
shit."
know you would feel better if you were breathing better. Yes, I've
Yeah,
told you this a couple of times because me as an asthma patient knows it.
right.
That's why I don't care about going on another inhaler or more nebulizing solution shit.
Yeah,
Just give me my albuterol and I'll suffer through.
maybe if I wore my oxygen, I wouldn't pass out all the time, huh?
I've suggested that a couple of times.
Hmm. That was pretty funny.
But I am just as stubborn. I when it comes to
I
certain
know.
things.
There's just, yes, that's just one thing I feel like once I start wearing that, then I just feel like it's all downhill.
It's not all downhill.
That and we took the wheelchair with us, and I was like, and the walker, and I'm like, I'm not getting in that fucking wheelchair. I dragged myself. I had them drop me off at the front door, and I dragged myself all the way up to the sixth floor and all the way down this long hallway. I get halfway down the hallway, my left leg decides it's going to be like Quasimodo when I'm going to drag it down, you know? And the girl's looking at me, waiting for me to get to the desk. And I'm like, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. And I was like, you dumbass, you should have asked, for support staff to wheel you up there or whatever. So I get all the way up to the desk. She takes my paperwork and she goes, take her back in a wheelchair. And I'm like, you fucking bitch. You saw me struggling all the way down the end of the hall and you
Well, you're
couldn't
the
send
one who
them
would have
down.
told her, no, I'll try and make it because you just want to be stubborn like that. You just dragged
No,
yourself up 6 flights.
yeah, at that point I would have gotten in the damn thing. It was stupid. Some shit you do is really stupid.
If I'm gonna if I'm gonna need help from the door, I'm taking it from the door. If I know I'm not gonna be able
Yeah.
to make it all the way through, I'm having someone cart me from the door.
Yeah, is what I should have did.
I know my
That was
limits, and I'm not afraid to acknowledge my limits. Like today, when my son got on my nerves, and I'm like, I'm gonna. He's like, he said something. He said something to irritate me, and I'm like, I'm gonna tase you. And he's like, no, you won't. That's assault. I go, not if your younger cousin does it. She's a minor. That's not assault. And my niece just rolling, laughing so hard. My son was being a pain in the ass today, but yeah, I'm like, I'll just hand her the taser.
There you go.
There, it's not assault.
Yeah, we were coming up with all the old sayings of cruising for a bruising.
Kick rocks,
What was the
pound sand.
yeah, and mine was pound salt. What else?
Oh God. Um, what were some of the other ones?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't remember them all out
Oh,
now
and then
either.
I'll tell on myself, but I think you should tell on yourself what you said about I sent over that compute about the computer program, and so you started off like on a little tangent about
Oh,
what
how
needed to
the
be done.
government's trying to lock us down, and it's like
Yes,
I'm
but
going with
then you
open
went on
embrace.
then you went on to list items, right? That was affected. Remember?
Yes, the
Okay, so what did you
software, the
say?
app stores, Windows, all of them. They're trying to lock down Linux. And then I said something
Mhm.
about hardware, and to a degree, it's not wrong, but
But the way you
they're
said
trying
it
to.
was like about ordering and getting stuff, and I'm like, okay, I'll take a new computer then, because it was like hard. This stuff was going to appear, and You're like, yeah, hardware. And I'm like, really?
The
Okay,
hardware,
that's something new.
software, and different various programs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So I
Hmm.
I was talking to Blue, and what the hell did there's a new word called snunch.
What
It's
the?
a combination of such and bunch. And
I
I
thought it was going
forget
to be
what
snack and lunch.
it could be that too. So it's going to be a combo word. So that I want that put in the dictionary for 2027. It's going to be SNUCH. So I don't
Snunch.
know, yes, where the hell that came up with, but it was a combo sentence that it was supposed to be something like such a bunch, and it came out snunch. Yeah, really stupid. But I do like a snack lunch too. That works, right?
Art's comment just had me laughing, and yes, snack and lunch, but his it says just wait till from his mom. Just wait till your father gets home, or you're divorced. He ain't ever coming home. Inside joke during hospice care when I was back in pain. When I was being in a pain. Sorry. Oh God, sounds like one of the ones my
That's
son
funny.
would come up with.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's funny.
But yeah,
I
I like
wonder if
snack and lunch.
yeah, snunch. Yeah, we that can be a combo. Definition number one, definition number two.
Yeah, you
There
know
we
how
go.
some words have multiple definitions. Yes.
Exactly. Different meanings. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll send that over. Where do we want to send that to? Oxford or
Uh,
what's the other one?
does Noah Webster still produce dictionaries?
Webster. Yeah, Webster has one.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Webster
All right.
Merriam. Webster
Uh-huh.
Merriam.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll see if I can put in for those and see where that goes.
It's I
We're
really have
being
some messed up. I have
yeah,
messed up wording.
yeah. They'll probably be like, yeah, we'll get a letter. Thank you, but no, thank you.
I still like my Democrats.
Yeah, for
Really
real.
deep
That was.
Southern pronunciation, Democrat, but
Uh-huh.
absolutely they're Democrats.
Uh-huh. That was pretty epic.
I don't know how I
Hell.
went that Southern. I'm not that far south, but evidently I went that Southern in my accent.
Mm-hmm.
Them there
All right.
Democrats.
There you go. All right. What do we got? Anything are we covering today?
If you want to, if not, we could just bullshit or pass out. You decide.
Hmm? Do we have anything that's of urgency?
Uh, not that I'm aware of.
Well, what time is it? Quarter after? Why don't
Yeah.
we get some of this? Why don't we do, since we fucked off all week, why don't we at least end the week since we will not be live tomorrow. It's Friday, our day off. We're taking a long weekend and we are doing absolutely nothing. Said anybody to say anybody. Anyway,
I
uh,
suggested that, but
I
like you
know.
listen.
I really didn't. I did.
You
I
have not
did
been
not do.
researching. I give you credit.
Yes, I
Oh,
did
at least
look at a
not that I'm
couple.
aware of.
Right. I'm not going to lie. I did look at some things that were going on, and I just forwarded them to myself and said, you can do something with them later. I just took
Hmm.
what I wanted and moved it. And other than that, I'm embarrassed to say that I have spent the last 2 nights watching either America's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent, the golden buzzer things, and you tell me why I was fucking crying. Uh-huh.
I
Tears.
don't know.
Tears, sob. I mean, sobbing like, my best friend died. Sobbing like an idiot. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, but I was watching German television and, well, German programming, like whatever TV shows from Germany and
Right.
Spain and Mexico, because they had some really good programs.
Mm-hmm.
And
I didn't want, I didn't, I wanted to watch movies, but I didn't really want to get involved and have my brain be invested in anything. And instead, no, I'm listening to these people singing and it, and their stories that they told, from the little kids up to the guys in their 80s that were dancing called the Funksters. And then there are 4 of them that I ended up going out and researching. They got YouTube videos, channels and stuff, and the ones that became big names. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Blue Rose says we should add those words to the Urban Dictionary. Art
There
says,
you
I'm
go.
constitutionally incapable of doing nothing. If I'm doing nothing, then I must be meditating. I
There
multitask.
you
I'll
go.
be chit-chatting while playing a game of solitaire or whatever just to keep my hands busy because my
Mm-hmm.
body hates being still. My
Right.
brain is always going to run, but my body needs to be doing something. So I trick my body into thinking I'm doing something by constantly clicking or checking different things while I'm doing something else because my body needs to be tricked. It's weird.
Yep. I know what you mean.
Yep. It's
I
fun.
think that's why we don't sleep though, right? Because we got to constantly be doing something,
Well, like I said, if it's do something or start replaying all these fucking idiot things I've done in my life and how I'm
Right,
lucky to be
right.
alive.
Yep. Yeah, the stuff that pops into your head going, yeah, you remember the time that you did X, Y, and Z, and yeah, you're lucky you are alive, girl.
Remember the time in 4th grade when that kid said something really stupid and mean to you and you replied with something even dumber? Yeah.
Mhm.
I wonder
Yeah.
what they're thinking of you now. Except they're probably not
Uh-huh.
thinking of me. They probably forgot I exist because,
I
or
don't
they're
know.
probably dead.
You
Most
think the
people
guy that
don't know or
yeah,
remember me.
you think the guy that I beat the shit out of, you think he
Oh, that's a
remembers that?
memorable moment. That is something that will
Yeah.
stick with you for life.
Call me a
Yes.
bitch and find out what happens.
Yeah.
Well,
It,
he was agitating me for weeks, and he'd come
yeah.
by and hit me or do
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes people do get what they deserve. But
yeah,
for the
his
most
first
part, nobody in school knew who the fuck I was, and they wouldn't remember me if I did. But like I said, the few people who do remember me, I have good reason to avoid, including crazy stalker jackass and a couple of my
Mhm.
family. And yeah, so I don't put my name or information out there because heaven forbid that should start up again. But, for the most part, nobody from fucking any school remembers who the fuck I am.
Yeah.
I'm quickly forgotten. They either hated
Well,
me and wanted me dead or they never knew I existed.
being the jock in the office bullshit, I got around. I wouldn't say the most popular, but I was known. So
I was
the
hated.
only thing that I did really that I regret is, that was back. Remember, I told you about the race riots and all that. And the guy's name, I know his whole name, but his first name was Jeff. And he was black. And he mailed me his class ring with a big long letter. And I about in front of everybody. It was really bad in the lunchroom how I tore him down.
But
I
it was
regret that. If
because
I
of the
It was
social
because of
push
the
of that
time.
era.
Exactly. And
And
if I
we
could
see how it
apologize
ruined
to him,
us.
yeah, yeah. If I could apologize to him for that behavior, I would, because looking back on it, it was, uh, I'm embarrassed now as an adult for my behavior, but, being young and dumb,
Well, that's what
uh,
we see in a lot of these young, dumb idiots right
yes,
now, is
yes,
what we could have had it off, but instead, some people chose to pass it on to the next generation.
yes.
Oh,
Look at
this was done to me back then, so we
uh-huh,
should continue to hate
yeah.
instead
Look at the
of
story,
forgive.
right. Yeah, look at the story we covered where the two football player or the football player was in the tent and the black guy comes into was he black or
Mm-hmm.
Hispanic? Came into the tent and stabbed them
He
after
was
he was
black.
told to leave.
Yup.
Yeah. And that kind of stuff. How do you prevent that, from occurring?
By
And
not passing on what happened to you or your parents or your grandparents
right,
as a burden to the next generation. It's in the
right.
past, let it die. in the past and move forward.
Right. I
Because the next
wonder
generation is
that.
not going to be that previous
Yeah.
generation. Just because your family passes on that trauma and BS doesn't mean every other family does.
Yeah. In that on that note, that'd be very interesting on a sociology aspect and even psychology aspect to go back and you know uh, because my grade level in that we were written up in the newspaper for black and white relations, how to get along with one another, and I'm
If
quoted
only
and
they
all
knew
this
what was
other
really
bull.
going on in the school and after
Yeah,
school.
right. And I'm curious now as adults how many people have actually made changes in their life for the positive versus how many that you're saying that are stuck that,
In the
well, this was
past.
done to me. Yes. And not only that, but did they perpetrate it going forward and give that to their children and grandchildren or whatever?
All I know
How
is
many?
that my family, it happened in the past, bury it, move on, don't think about it, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
When bad shit happened, you didn't use it as a crutch or as an excuse for your behavior. I was being bullied. I couldn't get away with telling my parents to fuck off and go rob a store or something. I would have got my ass
Right.
beat still. Ain't no
Right.
damn excuse for that kind of behavior. Don't matter
Right.
what happened. Unless someone's got a
Well,
gun to your head forcing you to do it, and even then you try to get out of it, you don't just go do stupid shit.
right. Well,
I don't put what I went through on my
even
kids.
even I told you it was about 6, 7 years ago. I got together with a whole group that we used to hang with, and it was a very interesting discussion with everybody. Here's me thinking I hid it, that I never talked about it, never said anything, but yet they all knew that I was being abused,
Well,
and
yeah, we
nobody.
think we're hiding it, but it's clear.
Yeah, right. But nobody ever said a word to me. Nobody ever told a teacher. And when I think back about if only somebody would have thrown out a branch or an olive leaf, what could have been or
Well,
what could have
I heard
changed.
about this even with my aunt, who's not, well, she's about 10, 20 years older than you. 10 or 15 years older, I would say.
Mhm.
She was, went to school with bruises on her neck where my grandparents had evidently choked her. And the
Mhm.
school saw the bruises and did nothing.
Oh, yeah. I went many times,
You go in
black
with
and blue.
bruises, the school ain't gonna do shit back then. And
Hmm.
now you go in with a scrape and they're calling
Scratch.
child
Yep.
services on people.
Well,
But
look,
they still
we
want you to
had,
transition your kid.
yeah, and I have that story where that school says that if you pull your child out to homeschool them because you're unhappy with the school, CYS is going to be involved. Children and Youth Services is going to be called. You tell me how that makes sense when they can't handle the workload that they have now for kids that are truly in need.
No, because
Now
it's
you're,
not the priority. The priority is keeping as many kids in the public school system as possible.
yeah, because they're losing, well, some of them are. Like Arizona has school choice, Pennsylvania doesn't. If you
Oh,
pull your kid out to private school or you pull them out to homeschool, you're still paying your taxes to the school districts.
mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Well,
if
my
you're in the
area,
you're in the
they are
city,
all for homeschooling your kids. Homeschool all you want. We weren't even going
yeah,
to stick our nose in to see how you're doing it. Just to, report these to the school, to the Board of Education in your state, and we'll look over
yeah.
it.
I mean, and you
Kid
should look at some
graduates
of
when you say they've graduated.
yeah, and you should see some of the curriculum that's on there. Watch a leaf change color, from spring, summer, winter, and fall. And there you go. There's science class. Some of it's absolutely ridiculous what they want for
My kids would
requirements.
be learning
But
how to do a garden for
Yeah.
science class, and how to make
Right.
homemade fertilizer for science class, proper soil
Right.
renutriation and all that. Would absolutely. Small engine repair could be
Yeah.
homeschooling, what my son is
Yep.
doing. Teach him to do
Right.
woodwork, teach him cooking and house chores for home ec.
Exactly.
That's what
Yep.
my kids would be doing.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, we had our home ec department had stoves, gas stoves, refrigerators, washers and dryers, dishwashers. It had sewing machines. It had a
Mhm.
section for wigs where you could work on wigs. Then
Teach
they
you
had that
hairstyling and hair cutting your own hair.
mat weaving, like you could make mats out of the straw.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Stuff my kids
wood,
have been doing for
yeah.
years.
Then they had wood shop, and that was the first years that girls were allowed to go into the shop classes, and the guys were allowed to go into the home ec classes. It became
Mhm.
mandatory that you had to switch. So down in wood shop, you had to make a lamp out of a bowling pin. You had to what's it called? Make a T-shirt, put a graphic design on it,
Oh,
whatever that is.
the screen printing.
Yeah, screen printing. Yes, you had to do one of those. Metal shop. We had a hammer. I still have. Eric made me candlestick holders, hammered candlestick holders. Different objects, things that were useful. That's where you first learned how to cook. You learned measurements. And it just
I
wasn't an easy thing to do. That's where you learned, how many teaspoons are in a tablespoon, how many
I've been
tablespoons make
teaching
up a.
my kids this stuff since they were
Yeah,
able to do it. I fuck the
yeah,
schools doing it. I My kids have been knowing how to do dishes, clean up after themselves, run vacuums, run the washer, run the dryer, fold clothes. They've been doing this since they were able to.
well,
I've been
yeah, because
my
we did that.
daughter still.
Yeah,
How many cups do I need? What does it say on the box?
right.
Okay,
Yep,
3. We're making 2 boxes. Double it. 3 times
right.
2. Oh,
Yep.
there you go. I taught you how to
Hmm.
do the solution. Now go.
Right.
It's like
Yeah,
we've
but
been
it's not,
doing this for
that all went.
years.
Yeah, that all went the wayside. I mean, even now, when I was in high school, we had to take 2 shorthand semesters, 2 typing semesters on manual typewriters. Uh,
We had to take computer typing because typewriters were already wayside by the time I got into high school.
yeah. When I still remember when the first IBM Selectric 2 came out, and it had autocorrect. And back then, I used to have to type a letter
Manually.
with 6 sheets of paper and carbon paper in between. And if you made a mistake, you had that frickin' rubber eraser thing that you had to go and oh my god.
Yeah.
Fuck. When I told you the first computer that was ever brought into the city, they brought it into Public Works for asphalt and equipment, and it was a Radio Shack. And oh my
Back
god.
before there was a really big monopoly on the system.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And I still have uh the first. It's probably I don't remember what it is. I'm guessing it's 256. I'm not sure, but I have all my computers I've ever had. We talked about that. They're worth money
Hmm.
on eBay. The Tandies, and I have the one that it looks like the computer's built into the typewriter. I have that one,
Yep.
and then the next one was the tower. And then when I was doing my undergrad work, you were using microfiche, the Dewey Decimal System, anything you could do. And I said, I think I'm going to go out to the University of Pittsburgh because their catalog is so much huger uh, than where I was. And when I went out there, I went out at midnight, and I bought a card to make copies. You had to have buy like a little debit card thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so I talked to the librarian, and because the building, there's 6 floors on the building, and it's like, what collection do you go to? So she goes, oh, come with me. She takes me into this room, and there were these metal shelving units for books. And then pressed up against the wall was a desk, and there was a computer. And she showed it to me, and it was the first time I ever went on the internet. And I'm telling you, as God is my witness, every freaking article that I saw that I wanted, I just hit print. I'm like, I will read it later. I came home probably with 3 reams worth of papers that I printed out. And Eric's like, what the hell was all that? I said, I was so entranced by the information that was out there and that was available versus having to get up and look at a catalog and go get a book or go get a magazine, open it up, read it, make a copy. This was just like, I was like, oh my God, it's all right here. Hit print, oh, I was like a kid in a candy store. It was even worse than that. I'm all worked up just telling you about it. It was so freaking exciting to see the
New
advent
tech.
of that come in. Yep. And then when 2000 hit, when it was we had to stay overnight in the office from 99 to 2000 when they were worried about everything shutting down and getting ready for the big crash to happen because we were going into a different, uh, different year. It was pretty funny as well. That was a big to do. But
Oh
it
yeah.
it it truly was to be able to see, as somebody that has worked with hundreds of thousands of pieces of paper from the police record room, from key punch cards to paperwork, everything being done manually on microfiche was the keyboard, key punch cards and the microfiche were the biggest things that you could possibly have. And then when the advent of computers came in, it was just absolutely crazy.
Hi JJ.
It was just, hey JJ, it was just a
Yeah.
whole new world, you know?
I
And
remember house phones going from wired to cordless
yeah.
to not even really having one. When answering machines went from the tape
Oh
to the
yeah.
digital. Oh
Yep.
my God. Yeah.
Do you remember the
Wild.
house? Yeah, on the house phones, initially I would be trapped by the length of the cord.
Uh
And when
huh.
my mother bought that really long cord that went all the way across the kitchen, I could take that phone and drag it around the dining room because, Eric would leave, and no sooner he got home, we were back on the phone. And I could lay on the dining room floor and talk to him, without anybody in the kitchen hearing us.
Mm hmm.
And then remember they went to, wireless and
Then it went from the phone wouldn't stop ringing to where the fuck is the phone?
it's the phone. Yep. Yep. And then even the TVs, you had to get up and change the channel. And then you got your first clicker, flicker, whatever you want to call it. And it's
Yep.
like, where's that at? And then
Well,
when
my dad
cable came
rigged
in,
up our house really nice. He had this wireless like walkie-talkie type system. It was the
yeah,
intercom. We had one in the
yes.
garage, one in the kitchen of the house, and one in the basement. So someone would
So if
always hear when
somebody
he
wanted,
called for something.
I remember we didn't have them, but I remember that.
Yep.
I always wondered if anybody had those, what are they called? In-home, the whole house vacuum systems that you just like opened up the little
My
lever
dad's
and
parents had that, and he hated it because he always got stuck cleaning it.
oh,
He hated
but did it
those.
did it have enough suction to pick stuff up that you didn't have
Oh yeah,
to drag the machine?
even
Yeah.
stuff that it wasn't meant to pick up, it sucked them out, and then he would be the one stuck having to go clean it out.
Oh, okay.
Yep, he bitched about it. He said he never wanted that shit ever. It's a headache, and if something breaks down, then you're stuck using an old vacuum anyways. So blah blah blah.
Right.
Yes. My mom talked about it. He shut that down so fast it wasn't even funny.
Yeah. I want to know if those Rumbas or the knockoffs of them work. I can't imagine with the dog and 2 cats that it would be able to pick up enough hair to make it worthwhile to get one.
It's a headache, but the Roomba things, they're not horrible. I
Yeah.
prefer good old fashioned dust mop, to be quite
Yeah,
honest.
so do I. In fact, we have the Swiffers. I dislike them because they're rectangular and bulky. I want the old-fashioned dust mop, spray some end dust on it or
That's
whatever
what
you
I
want to
have.
put on your floor.
I
Yeah,
actually have
and
an
dust
old
up.
school, well, it's microfiber now,
Yeah,
sleeve that
right.
goes on it. And yeah, we, I've got hardwood floor in my living room. I ain't
Yeah,
using
so do
nothing
I.
but a dust mop,
Yeah.
maybe a broom to pick up some bigger stuff, but a dust mop. And then I use that Murphy's oil. Um,
Yes, that's what we have.
soap,
Yep.
the Murphy's soap oil or oil
Oil,
soap or whatever the frick
Mur-
it is.
Murphy's oil soap. Yes, dear.
Yep. We fill a gallon bucket or we fill one of those
Yep.
sprayer things with the diluted down already solution. And there's our
Yeah.
floor.
Back in my day, you had to be on your hands and knees to scrub the floors. There was
I
no
did
mop.
that all the way up until my back was shot. We had a house that
Yep.
was all hardwood floor in the bedrooms, except one room, in the kitchen. The kitchen, the bathroom, and one bedroom were tiled. The rest of the house was hardwood floor. I was
Hmm.
on my hands and knees
Yep.
routinely until I could no longer do it any further. I've
Yep.
That's just my thing. When I use that Murphy's oil soap, I want to make sure I'm getting every inch is getting well saturated into the wood, all of that, because again, it's just how you properly care for wood floors.
Yep.
I That was my thing. Now in the kitchen, we still have a steam mop. It gets it where it's just steam to help break up stuff like
Yes.
stuck on debris and all that,
Right.
and it sanitizes. So I
Right.
don't mind going over with one of those too.
Right.
Art says my parents bought a hose with an intercom and a central radio system,
I think I figured out what was wrong with
and
it.
it was the first tube type electronic I ever worked on. It's intimidating, but when you're 10 years old, it is fixing stuff around the house. When your 10-year-old is fixing stuff around the house. My ex-husband used to fix that kind of stuff all the time. I'm amazed his mother let him get away with it.
So
Hold up. Oh, what, buddy?
the ones we begin have had 2 spokes, whereas the one that came with it and the one that I found have 4 spokes. Would that be what's wrong with it, that it's not catching on correctly?
Yes, that could be why that's not catching correctly. It doesn't have the right line up to pull it. It might still work though.
Go see Daddy.
Okay,
So it's probably requiring the 4 spokes.
it probably might be. Um, Thursday should be Rex Sisters Tinkering Thursday since there aren't any more friggin' Fridays.
Yeah, we were kicking around. What were some of the names we came up with?
I was
Throwback
going with
Thursday.
Throwaway Thursday.
Yeah, Throwaway Thursday. Yeah.
We could have just throw out whatever.
Yeah.
Throw it out there. Throw out Thursday, whatever. Throw
Yep,
back.
throw
We
up.
can
Yeah, throw up.
throw up
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, throw up, regurgitate, whatever, right?
Take some Zofran, you'll be fine.
Yep. No, I don't want any Zofran. He's a socialist.
I'm talking the medicine, not that jackass.
I know. I took it. It didn't work. I'm thinking of getting up and taking some Pepto.
Yeah. I've got meclizine I might take. I'm still nauseated from having to eat McDonald's on the road.
Ugh. Well,
I know. Well, I would have
Hey.
taken my pain meds with me if I'd known I was going to be there that long. But I
He
thought we
went-
were going to be back before my meds.
yeah, he went and got my prescriptions and brought hot dogs from the hot dog shop, and I had one hot dog and I was like, it's not working.
I'm fussy about hot dogs. Actually, I had a hard time eating hot dogs as a kid. I would, if it was any cheap old brand of hot dog, I would throw it right up. My
Yeah,
parents had to buy expensive hot dogs or I couldn't eat it.
yeah.
And then there was a point where I was allergic to corn and then allergic to other various foods, and they had to slowly wean me into corn as an older kid. Like I'm talking between the ages of 4 and 7. I had to be weaned to tolerate corn better because of my allergies. And yeah, me and hot dogs did not get along at all.
I do like I like a good hot dog, good hot dog meat. But there are times when, what the hell's the brand? Hmm. Oh, I think it's called Bar S, and it's a very cheap hot dog. And when we're at
Yes,
camp,
yeah,
yeah, when we're at camp and you burn that son of a bitch over an open fire, there are
it's just
times that
charcoal.
yes, it doesn't taste too bad, you know?
Um, Blue Rose says, please pray that my mom doesn't need to go to the hospital. Will do.
Oh, Blue.
Yeah. And Art also adds, don't touch that Thursdays.
I
And
like
Blue, I
that
will be
too.
praying for your mother.
Yeah, that's not good. Well,
Art,
it's
yeah.
almost. Go ahead.
I just saw Art was replying to Blue Rose. Hope all goes well.
Okay.
Been there, done
Yeah.
that more times than I like to think about. Yep.
Yeah, we could one day we should just have open forum and find out how just fucked up we all are.
Oh, we all are. I think from the chat we know most of us are. You're
I
welcome,
know.
Blue. Oh my god.
In more ways than one. And that's just the physical. We haven't even hit the mental.
Yeah, don't get me started on my mental health. Y'all want a real horror story? There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, Mondays could be mental Monday, right? Hell.
I think though overall not as deranged as I should be given what I've been through in life. I'm amazed
True.
that my mental status is as good as it is,
Hmm.
despite everything I've been through. Like,
I
yeah,
agree with that. And
holy fucking shit.
yep, I could be way worse off the chain than I already am.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I say I don't care what's happened in your past. It don't mean jack shit about the future. It's all how you choose to present yourself and how you carry yourself and
exactly.
how you
Exactly.
behave after those tough times.
Yep. I told you, when how bad it was when I grew up. And
Mm-hmm.
if it wouldn't have been for the silverware drawer incident with EJ, man, I think that, ooh,
You might not
it
have
could have been.
realized.
No, I could have turned into what I grew up with very easily.
Well, I could have easily turned into my mom. I just
Yeah,
chose not to
a different
from a
path,
very young
right?
age. Before I even
Hmm.
had kids, I made the determination I was never going to be that way.
Hmm.
I refused to be like my parents. And that
And
in
I
that
mean,
aspect.
and I've been with Eric since I was 15, and there's stuff that he doesn't even know that nobody knows that I've never, and it's never been, family sexual assault or anything. So
Hmm.
don't worry about that. It was the physical violence and things that happened that I just never felt that I wanted to share, that I couldn't share. I still don't want
There's
to.
still stuff I won't talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't. But I deal with it my own way.
Right.
Sometimes I will wake up in the middle of the night from nightmares that I can't remember full details of, but I absolutely have relived things in my sleep, and it's not fun. When you wake
Yeah.
up in a full blown panic attack for no fucking reason, you just know you relived it. And there
Yeah.
are
See,
times I do remember
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm lucky in that realm. I've never had any of the that I recall. Now I've had the weird dreams that, like I'm on the bridge and the bridge is always collapsing and, some weird thing is going on, but I never had to relive any of the violent parts, so thank God for that. that, I'm aware of. But,
Oh
and
no.
I attribute part of that, though, to, peace being made towards the end, you know?
I do. JJ's asking, is it Lizzie Borden violence secret, D? Not quite.
Well, you never know. I told you when they go to dig up the yard out here to put in new housing, they're going to be state police will be called. Let's just say that there'll be bones found.
Oh,
Who does
oh,
who does this belong to?
oh God. Yeah. It'll be an
Mhm.
archaeologist nightmare.
Uh-huh. Yes, it
But
will. From now
yeah.
on, I'll make sure that they take the bones instead of just putting the body in whole, decay. Oh, well, I almost said decapitate them, but, take them and just throw them up in the air, and wherever they land, they'll have to figure out how the pieces go together.
Yep.
Yeah. We have at least 3 burial plots. A 4th will be coming, so, oh, Lord help us.
If you bury a person there, you may not be able to sell the land to anyone, and you
Well,
might have to
no,
keep it in the
no,
house
no, and
in the
that's the
family.
problem. Yeah, that's the problem is, I still have my parents, were both cremated. And
Yeah.
uh, so there's spots that they wanted to be put at. Like I took part of them and threw them in the ocean, and then
That sounds so horrible. I took part of them. I mean, if you hadn't mentioned them being cremated, do you know how bad that would sound?
yeah, I did. I took part of them. Like I think I took my mother's leg and my dad's arm and just chucked them in the ocean. And then, the other part I took and I got to take and put it up in the mountain. But the issue I have now is where I'm going to put them on the property. So
And
trying to
yeah. See, down here where we live, if you have a family member buried on the land and you got to go through a proper, the whole, it has to be inspected, it has to be concrete lined or whatever the
right,
specifics are.
right,
But that land can never be sold outside of the family.
okay.
Once you have a private graveyard there, it has to stay in the family.
I'd have to check into that. I doubt very much they do
I
that
know in
here.
Michigan they do that. In
Okay,
Michigan, you can do that too. It can't be in
okay,
the city. It has to be out in the country.
right.
But it cannot. Yeah, obviously, you're not supposed to bury people in your backyard in the city or in the town. That is
I don't know why
very
you
frowned
can't.
upon.
I mean, it would save money. Yeah, Mom died. Where'd you put her? Down by the apple tree.
That's how it used to be in the 1800s.
I know.
But
Yeah.
regulations these days, and city
Yep.
water doesn't need to be contaminated with decomposing tissue.
Oh shit. Test the water now. What's in it?
I know. It's not much difference.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I mean, down here, we could absolutely bury a family member on the family property, and that makes it into a private graveyard, which then has to maintain unless
Wonder
it
if
is
the
disclosed while selling it and the person agrees to it and all this other nonsense,
yeah,
or
but
the
I
state
wonder like
takes
if
that over.
I was gonna say if you go into arrears on your taxes, I wonder if the state
Oh no,
or the
you don't have to
feds
pay
can still
taxes
come in.
going forward. There is no property tax once it's a family graveyard on it.
Oh really?
Mhm.
Shit, I know that ain't happening here. They want all their money. What are you talking about?
As long as you don't
Uh,
have a mortgage on the land, you own it
yeah,
outright, you can absolutely
you
bury
can do.
family on it.
Oh, that's cool.
And
That's
then they're
cool.
tax exempt because it is a cemetery,
Yeah.
family cemetery.
Oh, and
But
yeah.
yeah,
And I wanted to also let everybody know about my youngest that lives up in New York. So he was evacuated. He lives right down from Mandami. They walk their dog every day past Gracie Mansion. And I said, well, I do hope that you're going to be changing your route. And he said that they did. And two
is that
years ago,
really
they
going to
were,
make a difference in New York?
I doubt it. And everything that we've been seeing in the news is what's happening. So he did confirm that. And
Yeah, it's not the nice areas that usually get hit by
no,
protesters.
exactly, exactly. But the Upper East Side's really been taking a hit lately, and I asked them if they were ready to move back home. And with his business and stuff, it's right now the money's too lucrative. Uh, but he's spending, how much did he say? Almost $500 a week taking an Uber so that he's safe, so that either that or he's walking. And he told me he's been going through Central Park, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And he
When
goes,
the
don't
when
worry.
Central Park is safer
Yeah.
than the subways, you know
Uh-huh.
something's wrong.
Exactly. That's the scary part. So, but he makes a lot of money. So I guess to me, $500 is a lot of money to be spending on an Uber every week to go from one end of town to the other. But I'd rather him be in the Uber than be walking, from Times Square going, uptown or downtown or, east to west or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They said it was pretty scary, what went on. So I have a funny feeling that we're going to continue to see that in the protesting going on, because they're pissed at Mandami that, he's not living up to, I think, the expectations of what they thought he was going to
Mm-hmm.
do, both giving away the free stuff as well as being the radical. Although we'll have coverage on that.
The
We
only
do think
people
that he
that
is.
really like him are the communities that benefit from him. Everybody else hates him.
Yes. They opened up the first free grocery shop, and I think it was only open 2 weeks, and they had to close it.
I can believe it.
Yeah. So that was kind of a failure, and I
Um,
don't know. I'm still of the, I don't want to see anything bad happen to anybody as far as, shootings or bombings or any of that. But I do wish New York would fall hard and heavy fast so that everybody, including the world, would have a wake up call. We need a shot in the arm. We need somebody to shake us and say, wake the fuck up.
mm-hmm.
Uh, and I don't know how to go about doing that, but uh, I wish there was a way that we could. And the protests, unfortunately, the right doesn't go out really to protest. They're home doing whatever.
They're home doing what they're supposed to be doing, being proper
Yeah,
citizens, paying their
yeah,
bills, holding their jobs, and taking care of their kids.
right.
Um, and Blue Rose says she's praying for your son. Art says,
Thank you,
B,
Blue.
do they apply that cemetery policy to the Italian ranch down the road? A couple of them families used to bury lots of people out on the farm. Yes, I know that's a true story. JJ says, be glad that D's son isn't the Warriors member. Just saying, but still praying for his safety. I think
Thank
he's
you.
kind
I
of woken
appreciate
up
that.
quite a bit over this.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we are just talking. It was a year in September that
Mm-hmm.
he stopped talking to me, and I had made the decision that I was done trying. I had put forth a huge effort,
To
and
warn
they
him.
weren't getting what I was saying. Yep. I unfriended him, my son-in-law, his whole family, everybody. I unfriended. Uh, my son-in-law is a teacher in the New York state public school system, and they have illegals there, and I mean it's just a mess of what's going on.
But who
And
cares about those protests until it's in their front yard?
exactly, exactly.
JJ,
And
America needs a good kick in the crotch to wake up.
didn't we talk about that the other day?
Yep.
Something about, oh, never mind, Vanilla brought
Yeah,
it up. Never mind.
Vanilla added some extents. That was a women's
Yeah,
pain
yeah,
tolerance.
yes.
Slightly
We won't
different.
get back. Yeah, we won't go back into that, but I think it's kind of on the same order, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right up there.
Uh-huh.
But oh god, yeah. America, it's been 25 years in a couple months. It'll have
Right.
been 25 years since our last wake up call. And, and before that, it was back
Yeah,
when
I
Vietnam was going on that there was a wake up call. And
that's
before
true.
that, it
Yeah.
was the Kennedys
With the gearbox, no, because the
that were
gearbox,
the wake up
They
call.
the pull string is connected to the gearbox, right?
I'll explain it later. Just,
Because I'm watching
we're almost done.
really old video, and I just
An engine is not going to change much.
okay. So odds are it's probably because I got the wrong pull string. Keep getting the wrong pull string.
No, we'll deal with this when I'm done. Okay, buddy? Oh, sorry. He ordered the right pulse. He ordered the pull string from the actual place, but the problem is somebody else may have put a different pull string on it, changing the.
but
No,
yeah,
Yeah.
the other pull string worked perfectly fine, and that one had 4 spokes. These ones we've been getting have 2 spokes and aren't working fine.
Yes, even though you got it from the place that claims to sell actual parts for the motorized scooter,
Well, it does. It's just they probably don't have the 4 spokes.
or somebody changed out the engine or the pull string set up on yours
No, because
years
the engine
ago.
on mine looks like the one in the video.
Just because the engine looks the same doesn't mean they haven't changed the gear brackets and all of that. It is doable. Sorry.
you're fine.
But the gearbox you
Art says, I haven't lost anybody close to me due to politics. We disagree about lots of stuff, but none of us take it personally. Must be a generational thing. And my sister
Yeah,
is the same
yeah,
generation as me, but still took it to a whole new level.
yeah.
Like full on character attacks for
Mm-hmm.
proving her wrong.
Yes. Yeah, it was bad.
You
I
can
mean,
disagree, but you don't got to go to character attacks.
exactly. It was, it was really, really bad. And I mean, we even tried towards the end to not even talk about that, and it just was overwhelming. So I made the decision, as tough as it was, to I'm not kissing anybody's ass to beg them for their, you know, relations with me. You know what I mean? We either come together mutually and, we can disagree on shit, we can argue about stuff as long as we come back to one another. But if you're not going to do that, I'm not kissing your ass. And so what was done was done. But I was telling you today, I watched a couple videos. I don't know if the audience would be interested in them or not, but there's a chick that's reading the Quran, and there's a lot of young women that there is some writings on walls in spray paint about Hamas, and Muslims are going up and kissing that wall.
Oh
Okay?
no.
Yeah, oh yes, they have them on camera. Number 2, American women are enthralled with the Muslim culture and being that oppressed woman, having to wear the hijab, having to listen to the man, having the man in control. So this young girl is reading the Quran, and I think it was rule 245,749. It was in the 200s, okay? And it talked about her having to have, if he wants sex, she has to give it to him.
See,
If he wants
the guy,
this,
see 4 spokes.
Okay, we're talking here. Go ahead.
if whatever the man wants, she has to give. If she gives it to him, then he has to house her, feed her, and clothe her, and meet her basic needs. If she does not, he does not have to do any of that. He could actually have her killed. Okay?
Oh no.
So she decides, they decide they're going to go over to
I
Iran
already ordered it from Walmart.
for a couple days, and wear the hijab, and go around and participate in the culture to see what it's like. And I'm like, are
Mm-hmm.
you kidding me? Do you know the dangers that they put themselves in? There is you can look it up on YouTube. Bill Maher does an interview with that Anna Cat from Young Turks. What's the
Yeah,
last Casper?
Casparian.
Yes. Okay. And she's in this yellow dress, short dress, no pantyhose on. Her legs look like shit in my opinion, but they look like two matchsticks. She got a pair of high heels on. She's got a drink in her hand of alcohol. And he asks her, they get into this huge argument back and forth. She has no rational, factual information. She's basing it all off of, you know, I'm well read. What the frick does that even mean? What did you even read? What, a kindergarten book on the subject? Because you don't know what you're talking about.
For someone who
On one,
supports it so much, she
yeah,
absolutely does not.
right. On one interview, she said that the Ayatollah killed 30,000 people. And then on Bill Maher and Pierce Morgan, she goes, we don't even know the number. That 30,000 is exaggerated. But Pierce didn't know enough to say that numbers had been confirmed, that they actually thought it was higher. So
Yeah,
she's with Bill Maher, trying to do the same kind of lie with him. And he
but Bill
says he
Maher
also,
doesn't always.
yeah, he
Pierce
didn't push
Morgan
her back
doesn't pay.
either.
Neither one is going to
Right,
push back on it.
right. But Bill Maher says to her, he looks at her, right, up and down, and he says to her, you tell me what country you're going to go to. Africa, Saudi Arabia, Middle East, Iran, Iraq. It starts picking cities, Beirut, Tel Aviv, here, there, everywhere. Where are you going to go if you had to pick? If you had to leave, what city would you go to? He would not answer the fucking question.
Of course. Because there's
He
no way
pressed
that a woman
her,
could be so free.
right, and she wasn't going to acknowledge that.
Why would she? That would ruin
And
her own bullshit.
uh-huh, exactly. It would expose the hypocrisy that she's, spewing.
Uh-huh.
So
There's a reason
ultimately,
she's choosing to stay in America. She could go back to
yes,
Turkey. Guarantee she
yes,
won't.
right. She's
She
of
wants to go. She wants to be part of the Young Turks. Go to Turkey. See how well you
yeah,
like it
she
there.
oh, I forget. I think she's of Iranian descent. I think her family's still from Iran. I think she has it's either Iraq or Iran. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
Iran. She's Iranian, and she has family that's there. So she was trying to tell him, I know everything about the war and blah blah. I'm well versed on it. Yeah, but from what
Bullshit.
perspective? What are you
Yeah.
listening to?
The
So
propaganda? Or are you going to just keep
yeah,
spewing the propaganda?
right. And he continued to press her through the whole thing, and ultimately she said, what city she chose to, if she had to go live in, would be Tel Aviv. And why
Oh,
is that?
that's Israel, where women are well
Uh-huh.
appreciated and
Yeah,
respected sometimes. For the
there you
most
go.
part,
How much did
compared
these
to
Yep,
the rest
judges
of
say
them.
against them?
But yet
yep,
she's anti-Jewish people,
yes,
anti-Israel, but she'd still go live in Tel Aviv.
exactly. Yep,
What a
because it's the closest thing to America that you could get.
yeah.
So between what is happening here in the US, what's happening in now, a recent story that I just watched on the UK was they're having in Manchester, the police are permitting Muslims on horseback who are in police uniforms, different than what they're wearing, but they're police uniforms nonetheless,
Uh huh.
charging, charging people with the horses running down the road, trying to run them over, do whatever, accosting women saying, you're not allowed to dress like that, where's your hijab? They're starting to impose Sharia law on the city of Manchester, and the police are doing jack shit. They were told to stand down. Now,
Uh-huh.
who is perpetuating this? How high up does this go?
All the way close to the top, where there are lots of Sharia law enthusiasts writing the
Oh,
laws for the entire country.
and I'm telling you, if we don't wake up,
We're
well, it's
next.
happening. It's happening. It is happening here in small forms. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? All it takes is here, a little bit there, and uh, if you take a look at the compatibility of the Muslim religion compared to what we have in the Constitution, they just don't jive.
They don't.
So
Yeah.
the what I've been hearing is this is going to be the next crusade, is Christianity against Muslims, and that
Well, it was
America
in the
is the
first
last
place.
stand.
The original Crusades were
Yeah,
Catholics versus Muslims,
right,
but still,
right. But this is going to be the next crusade.
yeah,
Basically, it's going to be Americans against
Europe and all of the
uh-huh.
Western Hemisphere or
Yes.
Eastern Hemisphere. I apologize, I got that backwards.
I and I don't know if we're really ready for anything like that.
Well, that's why Trump appears to be trying to get the Americas all on the same page
Mm-hmm.
instead of having them divided with the not necessarily all parts of the United States of America, but on the same page with morals, religion, and laws.
Right.
So there is a safe haven
Well,
for the entire hemisphere.
and that was in Australia. There are school districts making the students go to uh, Muslim prayer. Okay.
We didn't have a problem
And
making kids sit through morning prayers in America up until the
exactly.
1980s.
So the issue that was brought up for some of these kids was they enjoyed it because they had a sense of belonging. They felt they were part of something. They
Well, why
felt a
can't they do that
closeness.
with any religion or all religions? Say the same
Exactly.
prayer in 4 different types of religion.
Hmm.
There,
Just
everyone's happy.
like we have to have the Black national anthem and the national anthem. You know, why isn't
Oh,
there,
pretty soon we're going to have a variety of national anthems, and there goes the whole ball game.
exactly. Yeah, for real. Instead of
So
take me
by
out
then,
to the
It's just
ball
going to be
game, it's
one
going to be,
anthem after another, after
yeah,
another, after another, and then 4 hours later we can actually start.
yeah, yeah. Instead of take me out to the ball game, it's going to be take me out to the anthems
Yeah.
with a
I
little bit
don't
of
now
ball
see. I
play.
have a difference of opinion when it comes to the national anthem. It should just be the national anthem. I don't care what language it's sung in, but it should be the anthem. Now,
Right.
religion, because we are a freedom of religion, we should, if we get to pray for in support the Muslims 5 calls to prayer, they should have to sit through a Catholic prayer and a
Yes.
Christian prayer and
And
a
a
Hindu
Jewish,
prayer and the
right?
Native American prayers. Oh yeah,
Yes.
throw it back at them. Let's
Yes.
have it all out. Let's see how far the
But
schools get.
I think the takeaway that I had from that whole issue with the children in Australia was, and there are studies that have been done here in America, how we have gotten away from church and Christianity and Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
Lutheran, whatever, that people are looking for a sense of belonging.
Well,
And
they
right now,
rejected their family's Christian morals and upbringing.
yes,
Whose fault is
but
that? Their own.
right? But what's interesting, though, is that why are they so willing to go to the Muslim religion and it being so much harsher
Because
than,
it'll piss off the parents.
wow,
That's the way I
the
see it.
women? Yeah, the women are going to be in for a huge freaking wake up call, I'll tell you.
Well, I remember when my sister's last thing is, these Republican politicians are going to have us in burqas. And then the people she supported are actually the idiots pushing the hijab, not the other way around.
Right.
It's the
Right.
Republicans trying to prevent that. And my idiot sister, being the 4.0 student she is, go figure, can't bother to research that.
Right.
It's like,
It's a
really?
little troublesome.
It's alarming.
Yes, it's very alarming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what the future holds. I'm not happy that I'm probably not gonna be around to see exactly what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I can only.
But we all go through that. My grandparents aren't around to see this bullshit, thank God. They'd be
Yeah.
shitting bricks and
Right.
rolling over in their grave before they're even dead. My
Right.
grandfather, World War II vet. I want to see how quickly he comes back from the dead to
Oh
go
my
after
God.
some of my cousins for this bullshit.
Oh yeah. There would be it wouldn't happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing is, how did we get so far away from?
Oh, because we were told our ancestors and our elders didn't matter anymore. Only the school mattered. Only the school
Yes,
could
that's
teach.
true. Exactly. That's true. That's true. That is they once they got a hold of the kids and realized what they could and couldn't do with them.
They didn't need the grandparents passing
Right.
down stories to them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really when you look back at it. If you recall, you had your grandparents in your home
Mm-hmm.
along with the parents and however many kids, and your
Mm-hmm.
families were in a relative close vicinity. And now you have people and families spread across the country
You got
that
divorced parents,
sometimes,
grandparents in nursing homes, and kids just, yeah, whatever. The schools are
actually
raising them.
doing. Yep, yep. It's messed up.
Mm-hmm. I love talking to my grandparents about the old days. I
Oh, so
learned
did
so
I.
much.
Uh-huh.
Most of my cousins didn't want nothing to hear about it.
Oh, that was some of the best times I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
We'd play
And yeah, some of
cards
their
and
stories were exaggerated, going uphill both ways to school.
right,
Yeah,
right.
but
Yeah, because they didn't really get to go to school. They were in the coal mine, you know, at at 14 and shit.
Art says none of the men represented by folded flags in my house fought for this stupidity. I can say that for a
Yeah.
fact. I can too.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
And the thing, like I said, it's very disturbing. We're gonna have probably, I'd say, towards the end of April, we'll be ready to roll with it. But we're looking at our own cities that we live in,
Mm-hmm.
and all I have to say is I'm shocked.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
could say I did a little bit of diving into that, and there is nothing in my area. The closest ones are 30 miles out.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
But
That's well.
wasn't it Reagan who said freedom is only a generation away from being lost? It takes one generation to lose all the freedoms or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Something like
Man, was he
along those
right.
lines. Yeah. For real. Yep.
They just slowly did it over multiple generations instead of one full generation.
Right. And then I think with the influx that happened and the flooding of people into the country, it has just overwhelmed, where the deadline had been around 2060 when all of this was going to take place. Slowly, the creep was going to happen.
Well,
I
they
wonder
bumped
what
it
the
up to 2050 now.
Yeah, I wonder what the trigger. Well, actually, I've heard numbers as early as 2040.
I have too.
I wonder what the catalyst was, though, that made them push so hard to
Trump in
to over.
2016 potentially
You think?
derailing the original program and waking people up.
That's
Yes,
true.
he's not the best person in the world, but he was talking about undoing the whole system. and that these idiots are doing this, that, the other to you. There's a lot of corruption. He wasn't
Yeah.
wrong, but his way of, presenting it is
Saying it.
sometimes way
Right.
over there in
Right.
left field. But he wasn't wrong about the corruption in the government and the mess ups that are going on. And
Right. Right.
people are, finally digging in a little deeper.
Yeah. So it's scary. I'll tell you that. I
Evidently,
worry.
the idiots in California misused a bunch of Soros's money that was supposed to go help the homeless, but got used for, getting people to register voting. So there's now a group in California that's trying to basically do the Doge thing.
Oh, really? Oh, that would be interesting.
Oh, they're already finding a fuck ton of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
want to know where the money is for that rail system. What they
Mm-hmm.
did with all that.
Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be in place, what, next year?
Yep.
I don't think so.
I don't think it'll ever be done.
We know it won't.
Hell, I mean, out of curiosity, we need to go look up what the hell ever happened with Karen Bass in the city of LA. Did they? I don't think they ever really even got the permit started, have they?
Uh-uh. I don't think they have.
Yep. All those people, I wonder what happened to them, where they went, where they're living. All them homes that burned and
Mm-hmm.
when Trump was there, he said speed up the process, and I think if I recall correctly, she was like, we're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. And then take a look at whatever happened in Hawaii, in Maui, and
Mm-hmm.
we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary. We should be doing something special.
Oh, yeah, we
If anybody,
should.
yeah, if anybody has any ideas that they'd like to see, drop them in the comments section or throw it up in the Discord.
And no, drunk and
Try to.
disorderly is not acceptable.
I was just gonna say keep it clean. We don't want to hear about any aches and pains anywhere, or
Mm-hmm. No drunk and disorderly in my house, unfortunately.
Yeah, right. All right, Crazy B, you ready to?
Yeah. I'm just finishing a taco.
Okay,
Yes,
that
tacos are
works.
delicious. They're
Yep.
nasty, but still delicious at the same time.
Yeah,
Make it make sense.
I don't know. It'll work. All right, peeps. We will be back on Monday then at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for joining Rex Sisters. Please don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe. We would appreciate it. As I mentioned, we'll be coming up on our 1 year anniversary at the end of the month, and we'll have to put our head together and see if maybe we'll try to do something that day, and I'll try not to fall asleep. Hey, at least I stayed awake so far, so.
Yeah, I honestly thought I was going to fall asleep before you.
Uh-huh. Well, you got work to do, yet I don't, so.
Uh, Art says I do a decent drunken uncle. LOL. Vanilla Pie says y'all should
Okay.
buy some land in Hawaii.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I don't think we could afford land in Hawaii.
Unless we just pitch in together, buy an island, and move all our friends out there.
There you go. What, Epstein Island, you want to call it?
No. We'll
No.
call it the stay the fuck away or we'll blow you up island.
No, we'll just call it Fuckaway Island. No, that
Fuck
doesn't
off
sound good.
island. Fuck off
Yeah,
island.
that's better. I like that better. Yeah, Fuckaway Island doesn't. That sounds
Yeah,
a
fuck
little
off
bit different
island.
than. Yeah,
Go the fuck
then.
away. Get the fuck off.
Yeah,
Get the
yeah.
fuck out of here, island.
Stay the fuck
I could think of a
away.
few
Yeah,
different ways to do it. And we could
yeah.
post it
Stay the
in
fuck
every
away.
language so there's no misunderstanding.
There you go. There you go. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Sorry we hijacked the show again, but
At least we got to take
sometimes,
it easy.
yeah, I feel relaxed. So I can hang up today not knowing that I don't have to cover any of this bullshit that's going on. So we just got the BS today, so I don't feel too bad. So thank you everybody for staying and for all your comments and prayers. I appreciate it. Blue, we're all praying for your mom.
Yes.
Anybody else that needs prayers said, you're all
Or
on it. We
something on the
talk about,
lines.
yeah, we talk about you guys all the time, just so you know.
Usually good. Usually.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, I have no problems with anybody. I find
Yeah.
everybody entertaining. But
Yes.
I'll end it with my part of stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. We'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm dead.
But,
I spent way too much time in the car today that I absolutely didn't need to spend in the car. Turns out.
well, and now you're going to go look at the scooter. So good luck.
Well,
All
luckily
right.
that's in the living room.
Oh, I thought it was outside. Okay,
No, it's
thank
been too
goodness.
chilled today.
Oh, it is Sherry.
Okay.
I
All right
thought it was
then. I'll
original.
let you go.